It's not easy starting a new job remotely. You can't physically walk over to a colleague to ask for help, tech issues are harder to resolve, and chats by the coffee machine where you get to know people have all but disappeared. In this video, I'm going to share my experience of starting a new role remotely and the advice I can pass on if you are starting a new job remotely too. So that 1, you have an idea of what to expect, and 2, so you can have a great start in your new role. The hiring process. Every company is different, but I think the overall experience will be more or less the same. For me, the hiring process looked like this. I had an initial call with a hiring manager, gauging my interest and suitability for the role. I was then put in touch with their colleague to arrange an interview date, and they became my point of contact to support me with any questions I might have and gave tips on how to best prepare. Design task. This was sent ahead for me to prep and talk through my approach in the interview. The interview. This was with a panel of senior team members where we discussed the role and requirements, and I learned about the company too. Overall, the hiring process was really straightforward. I was well informed every step of the way, and they were really accommodating when I needed to adjust my notice period, and I received an offer the same day. The rest is history. However, I must stress that not all hiring processes go this smoothly. I've had my fair share of rejections, completing design tasks, and getting ghosted by companies. Also, there can be multiple rounds of interviews where you meet different members of the team. On average, I found that there can be 1 or 2 stages of the interview process. Onboarding and induction. An additional tip I'd add here is to try and finish on a high. Complete the projects that are outstanding, kind of make a really suitable handover doc, and just leave your current job on the best note possible, as it's always good to keep good connections. After working my notice period, I enjoyed a week off before starting at Methods. I recommend giving yourself some time between finishing a job and starting a new one so that you can decompress. Do something that's not work related. Go for a walk, see friends and family, maybe even squeeze in a short holiday if you can. At the time for me, we were still in lockdown. It was November in England, so the weather was not great. However, I went on some nice walks, cooked good food, and did a tiny bit of new job prep. The week before my start date, my equipment was posted out to me. I received a laptop, a tablet, work phone, mouse, and a laptop back. I had received an email with instructions on how to set up on my first day. There were a couple of IT issues I had before starting, but a few emails back and forth and they were soon resolved. I logged in earlier than my induction start time, so I had a chance to test the kit out. I highly recommend doing the same too, so you have a little buffer time should anything not go to plan. Meeting the team. What you do miss out on with meeting the team remotely are the conversations at your desk or while making tea. The chances to hang out on team lunches or even going for after-work drinks. These are good opportunities to get to know people better and are made harder when you join a team remotely. Challenging as it may be, it's good to be proactive in your first few weeks of getting to know people in the company and on your team. Here are some of the things that I did and that the company also did to help make these connections. Have one-to-one intro calls with the team. This is a little something I did on top of what the company had in place. At my first design meeting, I had the opportunity to share a little about myself with the team. but it wasn't the right setting for me to get to know other people individually. And for me to have met someone remotely, I felt that a one-to-one video call was just what I needed. So I went ahead and set that up. After each call, I felt that I'd met the person and knew a bit more about them, both inside and outside of work, which was really nice. Shadow your peers. There were lots of opportunities that my line manager arranged for me to sit in on meetings and stand-ups, to get a feel for how projects ran and team members collaborated with each other. Start to fill knowledge gaps. I asked lots of questions. You're a new person joining the team, so they'll expect you to have a few questions. One of my colleagues had created a jargon buster when he was new, which was really helpful to get my head around some of the acronyms I heard, and another made an excellent resource on Notion about working remotely. If you ask around, I'm sure there will be resources in place that can be shared with you to help you settle in. Find a buddy. I was assigned a buddy for my first couple of weeks, and we had fortnightly video chats as I settled in. It was nice to have a familiar face to check in with, as not all meetings were video based. Get creative. Donut chats. One of my fellow UXers introduced an app to Slack called Donut. It randomly paired you with 1 to 2 people twice a week and asked a question prompt to get the conversation started. It was a nice way to reinvent those little office chats you miss out on. Also, we had a Christmas social with a quiz, fancy dress, and a few drinks. Another nice way to get to know the team. Starting a project. When it comes to starting a new project remotely, the ideas talked about in the Meeting the Team section of this video definitely apply here. In fact, when starting a project, you perhaps will have a more varied team, so it's important to get to know everyone. A great example I saw was from a user researcher on my previous project called Molly. She set up a meeting for the UX team on the project to talk about our preferred way of working, which is a great way to start a project and ensure we work efficiently and collaboratively together. It's something I will keep in mind to ask when I start new projects in future. In addition to discussing your ways of working, you can also share your working hours if they vary on the team. For example, having different time zones or working part-time hours. Have an introduction call, which is very important if you join an existing project partway through. Get up to speed with work previously done before you join the project. And embrace small talk. I don't like calling it that, but it's the small conversations you have about the weather or what people have been up to that weekend. It's nice to mirror the chats you'd have in the office online to get to know people. I once had Millie barking in the background when I joined a call, which threw me off at first, but it opened doors to a nice conversation about pets before we started the meeting. I really hope some of the experiences I've shared will help put your mind at ease when starting a new job remotely. And if you do have any concerns, reach out to the HR department or the hiring manager, depending on what stage of the onboarding process you're at, as I'm sure they'd be happy to help. That's all from me this week. I hope you've had a great day and a fantastic start to your new role. Bye for now.